We actually pervert God's word when we insert our interpretations. We preach personal preferences as doctrine and judge those who disagree as being liberal, spiritually immature, or even sinful. Today we're at episode 43, entitled Making Converts in Our Image. Now, this is an important lesson, certainly in the other countries of the world, but it's important even here in America. Listen carefully as we go through it. After his departure, Paul wrote to the churches that false teachers had infiltrated and misled believers. He had taught a doctrine of salvation by grace alone, and in his absence, they were imposing their doctrine of works by keeping Jewish religious laws. These false teachers realized they could not stop Paul or dilute his zeal, so they changed their tactics by following him, sometimes perverting, sometimes denouncing his message. The false teachers caused the recent Greek and Celtic converts of the Galatian churches to doubt their salvation over circumcision. Paul grew so upset that he wrote in Galatians chapter 5, verse 12, that if these teachers want to require circumcision, the cutting away of the flesh, he wished they would go all the way with it and set an example by actually castrating themselves. Can you believe that? In our day, circumcision is no longer an issue, but as missionaries, we do understand the frustration caused by teachers following behind us who subvert our teaching. Among our evangelical brethren, divisions are not usually made over doctrine, but rather over opinions and twisted interpretations that we disguise as doctrines. Such matters as dress style, music preferences tend to divide our churches and dilute our zeal, shifting our fervor from evangelism to non-essential preferences. As a boy growing up, my pastor taught it was a sin to work on Sunday, but he was preaching, and was that not work for him? And what about going out to eat after church? The restaurant employees had to work for him to eat. We actually pervert God's word when we insert our interpretations. We preach personal preferences as doctrine and judge those who disagree as being liberal, spiritually immature, or even sinful. It's no wonder that sometimes our more mature members leave our congregations to seek greener pastures to graze on in other churches. Now, eventually our message will be overcome by others who teach biblically validated doctrine. Teaching our preferences as if they're God's word is perjury, claiming that he said something he did not say. Missionaries sometimes unwittingly teach the preferences of their culture as doctrine in other cultures. Doing so can be extremely damaging. So then, the Great Commission involves more than just soul winning. We are to preach and make disciples, not in our culture or national image, but in his.
Does Paul's tone in suggesting castration surprise you? It seems un-Christ-like to have such a response. But Paul was emphasizing his anger at those who hurt the sheep by feeding them poison. As parents, we may have 10 children, but we delight in the uniqueness of each while expecting obedience from all. How has teaching preferences as doctrine affected your family and relationships? How did Paul correct false teachings? Can you give an example? Hint, the epistles.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode in our Understanding the Great Commission series. If you'd like a copy of the book, it's available in paperback, audiobook, and digital download. Just click the link in the description below. Thank you for watching.